Hi, my name is Heidi. I am 33 years old. I'm currently pregnant. Pregnant with my first child. We are expecting a boy in a couple months. So we are at 23 weeks right now. And here is my baby bump, which isn't that big and it's hard to see in overalls. I found out last week that my brain tumor, which they operated on 3 years ago successfully, I found out last week that it might be back. I did a routine MRI scan at the hospital, and I have that done every 6 months since my original surgery 3 years ago. And there was a shady spot in the brain scan this time. And so I've decided to start documenting this experience. Hopefully so that other people, other mothers who are pregnant and also going through health challenges won't feel alone, and they can share in this experience with me. So right now I feel, sad, but okay. This isn't my first time dealing with this, of course. I mentioned I had a brain tumor before. So it was first diagnosed in 2014. I had just had a cardiac arrest while on vacation, and my husband and friends that we were with on a hike gave me CPR for 25 minutes, and I was brought to a hospital nearby and put in an induced coma to preserve my brain and to prevent any damage to my brain that they discovered the tumor the first time. I followed up at my home in San Francisco, where I was living at the time, and I was seen at UCSF Medical Center by an amazing doctor, and they performed a craniotomy, which is a brain surgery, 3 months after this event. The surgery went really well. I thought it was gone for good. The doctors didn't think I needed chemotherapy or radiation at the time, so I just had surgery and that was it. And the surgery was complicated because I had a really poor reaction to the medication I was on after surgery. Some people, when they take steroids, they react really badly, and I was one of those people, and so I actually had what they call a medically induced psychosis, where I was hearing voices and I was at risk of hurting myself because these voices were telling me to harm myself. And so my brain surgery was followed by a week-long stay at a psychiatric institute, which, given everything that happened, that was the worst part of the whole experience. Losing my mind was the hardest thing to get over and the longest to recover from. So I was on psychotic meds or antipsychotic meds for almost a year, and I was severely depressed and terribly anxious from that experience. So we found our way back to my hometown in Brooklyn, where my family still resides. My husband, who has been with me through all of this, and I couldn't have asked for a better partner. He's been through a lot. He and I moved here together and decided to be close to family as I fully recovered from the events that happened. And I feel great now. I feel healthy, and New York has been really good to us. We are blessed to have a lot of family and friends here to support us, and we are so blessed to be expecting our first child, which has been a dream of ours since forever. Brad and I have been married 7 years now, and we've always wanted a family. Doctors did tell us that getting pregnant might cause a recurrence of the tumor. So there are some studies that show that cancer can come back during pregnancy. I was not one to let that stop me. I really wanted to have a baby, and even with this news, I don't regret getting pregnant at all, and I feel really lucky because we had a miscarriage a few months ago, and it feels really wonderful to have this opportunity to grow something inside of me and to be able to create something. So I'm really looking forward to being a mom and sharing this journey with my husband, Brad, who's going to be a wonderful father. And so this is just another bump in the road for us. I don't know why this keeps happening. I guess it doesn't keep happening, but I don't know why anything ever happens. And for a long time I wanted to know why, and I was very angry. But I don't think we're meant to know why things happen, and I know now that we can come back from hardship, and I know that we can persevere through difficult things, and I trust that we can again, and I trust that I'll be healthy again. And so right now, we just received this news 5 days ago. Right now we're kind of deciding what to do. We haven't told family yet. We haven't told many of our friends. We kind of just want to enjoy the pregnancy and not add stress to this whole experience that's already really stressful. And personally, I just don't, and I think my husband agrees too, we just didn't want to worry people yet, because given that I'm pregnant, there's not much we can do in terms of treatment. So right now we're just going to monitor the tumor and see if it grows anymore. So I have another scan scheduled 3 months from now, and then our oncologist is going to schedule another one after the baby's born. So from there we'll decide what the course of action is. Right now they're considering surgery again, which I'm okay with. We're going to be very careful about the medication I'm on this time, so that the psychosis doesn't happen again. And then right now the oncologist is recommending chemotherapy and radiation, which is scary, but I'm trying not to think that far ahead. And I also am doing research to see what alternatives are out there in lieu of chemotherapy because I actually worked with cancer patients at UCSF. I'm an occupational therapist, and I worked with cancer patients, and I saw the effects of chemo. And although it is known to be an effective treatment for a lot of people, and I'm glad that it's out there for a lot of people, but I don't know if it's for me. So I'm gonna see what other alternatives I have, and my husband is also open to it. So we'll see. I'm lucky because the tumor's in my brain. It's a glioma, so it hasn't metastasized anywhere else. It was slow growing, and they believe that it's still slow growing. So the first time around, the tumor was 2 centimeters, but they think I had it for my whole life, and I just didn't know. So that's good that it's not an aggressive cancer. I feel like in a much better place this time around because I didn't have a cardiac arrest 3 months ago. That's not funny, but it's kind of absurd that happened that year. So I'm a lot more healthy and calm. I've been going to therapy regularly. Thank God for therapy. I have wonderful support here, and I did in California too. But here is where my family is, and here is where my childhood friends are, and my college and grad school friends. And my husband's family is very close by because we're all on the East Coast. So we feel a lot more comfortable going through this here. And also having the baby as a distraction is actually really helpful. Whenever I think about him, I just feel so happy and lucky because I know that this isn't possible for a lot of women, and I thought it wasn't possible for me. So I feel really lucky that I get to have a growing something, person in my belly. He's kicking now, and so it's a constant reminder for me to be present. And focusing on the baby and preparing for his arrival has been a really good distraction. It sounds crazy, but I almost don't have the attention span to worry about myself and the tumor and all that because I'm too concerned with how to prepare for a baby in the house. And all the things that I've been doing for that have been really therapeutic and calming. For example, I'm reading this hypnotherapy book and go to a hypnotherapy class, and that helps me stay calm. I've been using essential oils at night, lavender, to stay calm and to sleep well because I had trouble sleeping in the beginning. And I do stretches every day that help calm my body, and so I feel really calm even though the worst news came our way. But I have faith that I'll get better, and I'm praying every day for a long life because my fear is that I won't live a long life with my husband and my child. But I have faith, and I do feel very strongly that I will, and that this thing that's happening now is just going to be another obstacle for us, unfortunately. But So that's it, and I'll come and talk again soon. Thank you for listening, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I'm happy to share what resources that I've been researching now, and the doctors I've been talking to, etc. And just know that being a mom is hard enough, and becoming a mom can be really scary as it is. So if you're going through something difficult, just know that you're really not the only person out there. And as an occupational therapist, I work in a clinical setting. I work with disabled children or children with deficits, and I feel lucky to know so many families and so many people around me who are outside of the norm, outside of the ideal situation when it comes to family planning. And it really helps to keep some perspective on things. The question of why me? Why is this happening to me? There's no why. And even if there was a reason, we don't know. We just don't know. That's not for us to know. And all we can do is choose to keep moving forward and to do what we can to do that, and to take care of ourselves, and to be grateful when you can. Because I know it's hard to be grateful, and it's hard to feel happy when things can be so shitty, but it's really a gift to be alive. And I feel that so strongly right now with this boy growing inside of me. It is such a gift to give life and to have life. And this is my journey, and this is our journey, and whatever you're dealing with, just know that you're not alone, and things do pass. Nothing stays the same forever. So keep hoping and trying and growing and learning and reaching out to people who make you feel good and doing things that make you feel good. Because there's still a part of you that wants to feel joy in spite of sorrow and suffering.